Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Welcome in and high noon. Everybody's got to get on YouTube and Twitter right now. Like,
yeah, you do.
I don't know what people are doing right now, but get on YouTube and Twitter because Tommy is an AI mastermind. Mason Crosby, were you number 9 on the Rams? Is that really?
No, I was number 3 on the Rams.
You're number 3 on the Rams? Okay. Yeah. He's got Mason Crosby in a Rams uniform.
No, that's Matthew Stafford. What are you talking about?
That's Mason Crosby. That's Mason Crosby.
I just thought, why are his hands so bloody? Like his bones are showing. Is that from the grinder? Like,
yeah, that's from the game.
It's cold in Chicago.
And grinding a stuffed teddy bear into a cheese grater. Good day, high noon. This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst with extensions. 4 divisional playoff games are done. The conference championships are set. The Bucks about to take on the Hawks in NBA action. And if the Bucks win, they will only be half a game out of the 10 seed in the East. So all sorts of important things happening today on the Mason Crosby Show.
Just chasing greatness. The Bucks are looking just to kind of middle out here, as it comes towards the middle part of this season. But, yeah, what a weekend it was. The Bears still suck. I mean, it's like, I guess we can go back to that.
They really, really, really.
Did you see the Rams Twitter page? Like, their social media is amazing.
They were getting after it.
Just trolled, like, the pictures of the Bears, like the bear trying to get in the house, and they're like, nope, get out of here. Just like goofy hats. I'm like, the Packers need more of that, I believe, right? It's like, fuel this rivalry to a point. Like, I get the Packers take the high road. They take all, but Ben Johnson has thrown shade. He's thrown the fire. He's laid out the gauntlet. This is going to be fun. Matt LaFleur, Goody, they're back. So now it's time to lean in and be like, all right, like, we're going to take this thing seriously again. You ready for this, right? Like, are you ready for what the Packers are about to bring? Don't be that just like small market, like, oh, we're just we're going to come in, we're going to play our game and try to beat those Bears down there in Chicago. No, like, be something to be reckoned with. Don't do the petty stuff. Don't do the Ben Johnson, take your shirt off, screaming, running, handshake stuff. But I do think some shade needs to be thrown and be like, we have dominated you for years. Like, sit back and watch us build something great here this next year. We're coming at you. Like, good job. Y'all made it the divisional round. Your time is over now.
Well, you said serious. Did this move show you that the Packers are more serious about 2026 to you, Mason? Because I feel like me and Mitch would be on the opposite end of that thought.
Well, I'm just saying they made a decision, right? So now it's time to say, like, we pushed our chips in with Micah. We have a 3-year window. That's what I see with this LaFleur Goody extension, right? Like, that last year of this deal, whatever that is, say it's a 3-year extension. That's 3 more years, and then it's like, again, you're in the same lame duck situation, and you decide, what are you doing? Have they taken it to that next level? But you went and got Micah Parsons. You have a young receiving core. You have Christian Watson another year at least. Matthew Golden, who you're developing, Savion Williams, Jaden Reed. You got these young stud stars in the making that you're trying to develop. These are 3 important years. Like, this division is going to be tough for the next foreseeable future, right? So, like, I believe that they said, all right, we have 3 years. We don't want to rebuild from the top down. We don't want new staff, like, as far as the head coach goes. We're probably going to have a new defensive coordinator. Let's keep it as consistent as we can, and let's go attack this thing. If it can't be done, whatever this extension looks like, it's a 3-year window here is how I see this, right? Get Matt to 10 years. If he doesn't produce in that, then you move on.
I think there's a lot of layers to unpack here, and obviously the news came during
it was a classic Packers,
right? Yeah. Classic Packers, yes. Like dump it on a Saturday evening while what was the first game?
It was overtime going on.
Overtime.
It was the biggest, only the greatest game in divisional round history.
All right. I think they tried to time it for in between the two games, but then there didn't end up being in between the two games because it was overtime. And Sean McDermott, if you didn't hear, head coach of the Bills, no longer. He ends up losing his job because of that overtime loss and not succeeding in the playoffs with Josh Allen and that team. What was your when you were you watching the game live?
And see, I would look at that and I'd be like, I almost think that's a knee-jerk reaction, right? Like, okay, how do you blame Sean McDermott for like a ridiculous
for years and years and years of not getting as far as they should have, of years and years and years of blowing leads to the Chiefs?
He also is a defensive-minded coach,
but they came back though. I mean, like this year, it was like they were getting throttled, and they came back and made that a game.
It's not just this year.
And then they should have won that. Like they could have won that game. Had like, what is a catch, right? Like the guy's knee and his shoulder are down, and then the defender goes over him and takes the ball. Like in my mind, I'm like, okay, then in that vein, it should have been an interception on the Hail Mary. It should have been, an interception, like all these things, because it's like, Golden Tate on that interception and on that Hail Mary in Seattle, he's on top of him and grabbed the ball after DB had already hit the ground on his back.
I think what they ruled is that the defender had his hand in there already, and that was the difference between the Devontae Adams play.
Though 50-50 is always goes to the receiver.
But then the receiver doesn't complete the catch, though. Like that, then it's incomplete. But then it never touched the ground, and the defender has the ball.
It's complicated.
And that's the thing. Like I think there's so many nuances and idiotic subjectivity to what is a catch in the NBA that we could get into. But so McDermott's gone. But were you watching the game live, Mason? Were you watching? Okay. Yeah. So as you're watching, you're I don't know if your phone blows up, your Twitter blows up, your Instagram blows up, whatever. Like, what was your first reaction when the first report came through? Because first it was just LaFleur, and then we found out it's Goody also. Packers and LaFleur have agreed reportedly to a contract extension.
I mean, like we talked to it like till we were blue in the face last week.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those where I was like, yeah, I mean, in kind of in my heart, or like I guess I don't know, heart, brain, whatever's leading the way. Like I knew that was going to happen. Like I didn't think they were going to move on from him at this point.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the years. Packers haven't officially announced it, which I told you was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Like it was going to get Thursday. Out there. And then the Packers will eventually just put a little something up on their thing, like Coach LaFleur and Goody have been extended, for undefined amount of years. Like they're just going to kind of try to keep this thing under the radar as much as possible.
Yep.
Which again, I think that was Aaron's thing, and that's what I've talked about, like communication and all that. It's like be a real, like be in this NFL, be in this world that everyone's in, like. Just get out in front, like say the things that need to be said, like be transparent, be like out there and just say, hey, yeah, we're standing by our coaches. Like they're going to be our guys for the next 3 years. And then we'll see after that. Like we do expect championships. We expect these things like from a player perspective. I think there's some of that missing up there as well. Like just where it's just like, nobody knows exactly like their role, their expectation, all of that. It's like they say in the building, know your role, do your job, all those things. Right. But sometimes guys, I think, especially young guys coming into that for the first time, they're like, well, no one's told me exactly where I stand. I think in how good it is up there, a young guy coming in thinks that they're on the verge of being the next starter and the next great Green Bay Packer. And it's like, you got to earn that. And there needs to be some voice in there that's saying all those things and being transparent and communicate that.
Mason, is there a chance? And this is me kind of extrapolating you. So I'm getting. We're going to Mason's extra points inside Mason's extra brains early. Okay. Is there a chance like that the Packers tell us how great they are? and tell us how great of an organization they are, and that maybe it's not that great. Maybe it's just good. Kind of like LaFleur, kind of like the team, kind of like things were with Aaron. And I almost like divide LaFleur. Like his first 4 years, I don't even view those as Matt LaFleur being the head coach. He failed to get the team to a Super Bowl. He failed you. He failed Aaron. He failed everything.
Yeah.
All right. He's been the coach of this team for 3 years. This team.
I agree with you.
All right. Is there a chance, not just LaFleur is good, but not great, is there a chance the Packers as an organization, I know they got the great chef, and I know they got like great stuff, but is there a chance the organization itself is just good and not great?
Let me just add this then. Is flashes of greatness equal to good? Because we have seen flashes of greatness over the last 3 years with LaFleur. He's won a playoff game. He's had Jordan Love ball out in massive games this year. The 2 weeks into the season, we were ready to crown this team. There's been flashes of greatness. It's just not sustained. And if that is the case, then does that mean they're just good?
And then is that true for the organization? Like the chef is great, so there's flashes of greatness, but other things are just good.
Yeah. So
without you being like, and we don't want like
you know how we don't
want to put you in a tough,
all of this by saying like my time in Green Bay. So thankful. Like, I mean, it's amazing. Like I would have not, I couldn't imagine playing for another organization for 16 years like I did there in Green Bay. Like everything, it was amazing facility, all the stuff. And I know so many people there. And I think to your point, so many people there that have been involved and been a part of this organization forever. Right.
Yep.
And if you, and they don't bring a lot of outside voices into that space, right? It's basically the organization is like how the philosophy for the team had been forever, draft and develop, right? You bring a lot of people that are Packers people, local people, have connection, and they are going to be there forever. And I think that does sometimes in certain spots prove problematic. Adam, who is the new head of nutrition and performance there, he's from somewhere else, right? Okay. He came from a different place. He's not a Green Bay product, and he does it differently than a lot of people do, right? They brought in somebody finally to do all the sound and like some of the game day things from outside, and that ramped up to a different place. Yep. I think sometimes you need to have an influx of outside voices, experiences from other places to try to just change a little something. You don't change everything, but it's you just need a fresh voice, a fresh perspective, because this is how the organization's always done it, and we've been consistent. Does breed complacency down the line, right? Yep. And there's things up in the marketing department where it's things get up to a certain point and you have to pass the note so far up the chain. By the time it gets to the top, it's well, that's too convoluted. We can't do it. Right. So it's I think there's some of that. And then there's a lot of, I guess CYA is what we like to call it.
Sure. Yeah. Cover your tushy.
Where it's I'm going to just do enough and put myself out there enough to still be relevant, but not to potentially get fired if it doesn't go well.
Got it.
So I don't like that aspect of it. And there's just a lot of that.
That's a tough work environment sometimes, right?
Yeah, everybody's just kind of protecting their job.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not always a positive work environment.
And I think that's what made me mad about we can't have a lame duck coach in their last year. I'm just and then it's you get these agents speaking into this space saying, well, the coach wants to know that he's appreciated and won't get fired in the next couple of years. And I'm but what? Why?
Right.
Why?
Sometimes you get fired.
Why do you need? Yeah, it's you have a job. You're under contract. That is your security. You have a year. Go be great.
Yep.
And then see what happens. I guess I don't understand that all the time, especially from a player perspective. Coaches can get fired because players make mistakes. It's happened this year, right? A lot. Harbaugh gets fired because someone misses a kick, and they don't win that game, and all these things. So it is all tied together. But I do think up there in Green Bay, it's an amazing place to live, work, all those things. But it's hard to bring outside voices into that space And I just don't think they're willing to do it all the time.
Well, and go ahead.
414-677-1250 is the phone number. That's the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. 414-677-1250. Your thoughts. The Packers reportedly bringing back Goody and LaFleur to long-term contracts. Our reaction to that over the weekend. Go ahead, Tommy.
I just wanted to bring up a comment here from Tim, our guy Tim, official driver of Mitch Nellis.
Yeah, drove me to the airport and did an amazing job.
I am so on the extension for Matt LaFleur. What happens next year if they don't make the playoffs? And that was part of the comment.
Yeah,
where I was just going to say that, like, you want to talk about all these expectations here, Mason. They have to be higher in 2026 now because they decided to keep Matt LaFleur after all of this. Because the expectations last year, in my opinion, they should have been through the roof and they should have been serious Super Bowl contention.
And I'm calling timeout on this conversation. Let's get to the playoff conversation next segment. I want to hear what changes they need to make now. Yeah. So they made this LaFleur and this Goody decision, but now what are we waiting for on Bisaccia? What are we waiting for on Stenovich? What are we waiting for on Butkus? What are we waiting for on some of these guys who was that part of the deal?
I
with
think
LaFleur?
that's what
some of these guys
get
are
frustrated
gone.
with, right? Is that like LaFleur, even with like the Ben Johnson stuff and all that, like I think sometimes fans are like, why does he not don't take the cheap shot? Don't take the bait with him, but just be kind of defend the Packer fan and organization a little bit, right? And be this is nonsense. That guy's a joke. He's had a little success against us. This is going to be a great rivalry. We look forward to going and taking them down every year. Just put it out there, right? Don't be afraid. I think why everyone's a little on pins and needles with this extension is just Matt LaFleur is not going to change. He's not going to become a guy that's all of a sudden this man, I'm going to get into the ring with anybody type of deal. But again, to your point is why is he okay? If he gets extended, if that's the case, if it's he's still the head coach, whether he got extended or not, they haven't fired him. If I'm Matt LaFleur, I would have been I'm making these changes. I'm going into this offseason now. I'm going to start doing these things. They can extend me or not. This has to be adjusted. Be proactive. Go into this offseason attacking things. Because right now it just feels it's kind of the same thing. They're evaluating. We're just going to kind of keep rolling as is. So my thing on the extension too, though, is again, there is no this only benefits Matt LaFleur's security and well-being, right? Because if they don't succeed next year, now they've extended him. Now it's you can't fire him or you're on the hook for and would the Packers though be willing to say, hey, we're going to eat $20 million on a coach?
They better be,
because we obviously didn't make the right choice here.
Right. Could you ever in a million years see the Packers doing that?
I can't.
As conservative of an organization as they are. No way.
But it literally, so you're just saying all right, Coach LaFleur, Goody, all those guys, they are the future of this. Well, at least the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to roll with that. And now if it doesn't succeed, that's why I'm this lame duck year. I'm just kind of why? Why? If you don't make the playoffs next year, then it's heads have to roll. You got to be okay, this is a true regression, not just all right, we're trying to still figure out this team. This is a regression with the team that should be in place, that you should go out and be successful.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Let's go to Chris in Muskego. Chris, you're first up on the Mason Crosby Show.
How's it going in a freezing cold Wisconsin? I hate it weather.
I love it. I love the weather. I love Wisconsin. You can't convince me otherwise.
Obviously you don't work outside.
Anyway, it's true. I'm inside. I'm inside the Wisconsin Sports Radio studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
There you go.
I don't have an issue with extensions for either one of them, because I'm pretty sure somewhere in the contract thing, if Fleur fails or Goody fails, they're going to eat some of the money, but I'm sure there's provisions ahead of time. But here's the main question. Now, are the Green Bay Packers going to be like the Badgers and pay the lowest amount of money to assistants? Because if they're not going to jack up their pay for the assistants, they're not going to be able to get any quality assistants. I mean, they're going to need a new DC. They need a new OC because I don't care what anybody. Stanovich isn't worth a pea in a pod. He's the same guy that kept putting Turner at left tackle against Tampa Bay and against San Francisco, and all he did was get eat up, spit up, chewed up, and was a failure.
And all
never
the
made any adjustments.
Billy Turner catching strays, man.
Yeah. Well,
So,
hey,
unless
go
they're
ahead.
willing to
Finish your
spend
thought.
money on assistants, it doesn't matter who the coaches are.
Yep, they got to open up that checkbook
Yep.
for those assistants for sure.
Thanks for the call, Chris. Chris, I mean, that's a good point, though. They do, right? They
have to, especially if Hafley's gone. I mean, didn't
they pay Bisaccia a lot, though, to get him to come here because he was an interim head coach and, like, they thought he was a
I
big
think
deal?
Isn't he getting close
Was
to
the
3
most
a
for the
year or
longest
something
time.
like
Yeah.
that? I mean, they
Not
gave
awesome.
him a great deal. But here's the thing: is let me just throw this nugget out, and then we can go to break.
Yeah.
Ed policy not changing the structure with these extensions. Do you think, like what Chris was saying, do you think there is that pill, if you will, where it's like, if this doesn't work, we have like the Packers put in an out in these extensions? I can't imagine LaFleur and them signing a deal with that, but I thought for sure Ed policy would change that structure.
Yeah.
Like back to what it
Agreed.
was. And the fact that he didn't might say a lot about what this extension actually is, right? Because he wants to continue to have that control and power if this doesn't go the way, like if this doesn't improve and they don't take that next step, right? Because if he was like all in and it's all that, you change that structure, you put GM in charge, the head coach is under the GM reporting there, but he kept it the same. So my question there is there an out here in a couple years if this thing doesn't go the direction that they're hoping for?
How does bringing back Goody and LaFleur change your expectations for next year? Should there be an out in the contracts if things go sideways, if things don't go well in Green Bay? We'll talk about all that and more. And did you see anything over this past weekend that makes you feel better about the Packers? Makes you feel worse about the Packers? A lot of turnovers this week, with some weird football.
Yeah.
We know the defense is hit harder in the playoffs, but some weird football over the weekend. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here as well, rocking the Badgers, keeping warm with the Badgers hat with the poof on the top. I love the poof.
I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah, you're wearing a hat. You're nice. Staying warm. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon.
the 48, deep drop. Williams got time. Shot downfield in trouble. Is intercepted by Cam Curl. Curl goes over, makes the play, and the Rams have it back.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
What'd you hit?
I was just a joke.
He's trolling.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you trolling the Bears?
That's what we do on the Mason Crosby show.
That's right. Presented by Verizon. He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Works is here. I'm Mitch Nellis. Hawks up 17-16 early. 3 minutes left in the first quarter in Atlanta. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. Well, Pat McAfee, Nick Saban. How many of these guys? I don't even know who half the guys at the table are right now. Like doing this pregame shenanigans. National championship game tonight. The Indiana Hoosiers and the Miami Hurricanes in Miami.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
is anyone picking Miami to win that one?
You know what? All the whales are, because it went in Vegas this morning. It went from 8.5 to 7.5 at every casino.
Interesting.
So a lot of big money coming in on Miami today. So we'll see. We'll see how that affects things at the sports book at Potawatomi Bingo Hotel and Casino. Mason Crosby. Before we left, we were talking about like kind of those poison pills or opt-outs or those sorts of things with our Green Bay Packers. And so let's jump right back in there as the reports are that LaFleur and Goody are signing long-term deals. Like what? You're right. You said it exactly right before we went to break. Like this is good for LaFleur.
Yeah.
There's nothing good here that benefits the Packers, the fans, the players. There's no ownership, but leadership. This benefits.
Let me say that though. I mean, it benefits the players in some way, because then now that you don't have to learn a new coach, right? You don't have to go into this offseason trying to figure out what changes. So consistency is good, and the Packers have proven that consistency and having those things are a solid thing. You've had the same, 3 quarterbacks in 40 something years. It's like those things are not bad, but you have to find a way to make them great, right? And like that's right. Isn't that the line? Good is the enemy of great.
Yep.
Like we don't want to be just good and try to just get to the playoffs and show up well and do these things. Like what makes you great? And you have to make some really tough decisions now for that to be a possibility. Like that's going to be personnel, player-wise and coach-wise. Like you have to fundamentally find a way to take that next step. And I think that's bringing in some new coaches that are going to like kind of buck the system a little bit. Say like, I see some things. This isn't exactly what we've done to have success. Here's some things like, and then LaFleur has to be willing to listen and to kind of adjust if things are brought to his attention, and then stay the course with it. Like here in the next month or two, that's where you do all that evaluating. Once you lay down a path of what you're going to attack during the season and how like adjustments you're going to make, then you do have to plot along. And like I've always said, you die on that sword, right? It's like you have to have a conviction and be like, this is how we are going to attack this season. And then just let it be that. It can't be scattered. It can't be all these other things.
So I guess the question is like, are all the things being done? Do we trust that all the things are being done in the preseason, personnel-wise, scheme-wise, assistant coaching-wise? Nate in North Milwaukee writes in on the Nicolet Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. You can give us a call or shoot us a text. Nate in North Milwaukee says, what this tells me is that this talk about winning championships is BS. No one is being held accountable. Injuries are not an excuse to blowing 5 leads and losing 5 in a row. At least policy should have made Matt revisit some of the coaches on his staff, but I guess offensive line, offensive coordinator, and special teams weren't a problem. And I would say not so fast. Like we don't know about those guys yet. The way the Packers operate, we could find out a week from now that 5 coaches are gone. We wouldn't know that immediately because that's just not how the Packers do things, right?
They will decide. I know Senior Bowl is coming up, pretty quick. Combine is only about a month away, maybe less. So, like, they will have to solidify and make those decisions on staff, I feel like, before those dates, because you want those guys having eyes on players that you might be bringing in, different position groups and all those things for this team to move in the direction that we can all feel, at least comfortable with. We're going to be asking all these questions until they kick off this, 2026 season, because it is just, what can you change? That let's just say LaFleur's last 3 years, like we said, put those first 4 years kind of in its own bucket. These last 3 years are that sample that we can look at and say, this is LaFleur and Goody's, this is their team. Now this is who they are and what they do. How do they make little adjustments? Because you're keeping them on, so you're not going to reinvent the wheel. You're not flipping everything on its head. How do we make little adjustments? Tommy, I want to hear you, because you keep making faces like you think this is bad ball. You're not sold on them chasing greatness with this decision. I can tell.
If you decide to go out and extend Matt LaFleur and extend Brian Gutekunst and then fire every single assistant coach and get all brand new people in here, how is that not just the same as a big enough domino of you decide to not bring back Matt LaFleur for a year? You're going to have brand new coaches all around. And I love your point about the player testimonials kept Matt LaFleur around, right?
Yes.
He never lost the locker room all the way in the belief, and the last day when they were cleaning out everyone's locker, it was nothing but love for Matt LaFleur. Like, that saves your job when your guys are backing you.
Yep.
But if everyone
But
is
when
now
you have it well, though, whenever you have it as good as they have it, would you want someone else in there?
Well, exactly. If my job stays easy and my boss is in charge, let me get paid more or paid the same with my job being easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would absolutely understand. I can understand that point. But if we're going to call for now, well, okay, they moved, they stayed with the GM, they stayed with the head coach, but no one else is safe, and everyone else has to get reevaluated or fired or rehired, whatever it goes from. Like, that's just as much as big a change as it just doesn't have the headline behind it. Like, if Adam Stenavich is not the offensive coordinator in 2026, outside of Green Bay, no one knows or cares, because Matt LaFleur is calling the game. If Matt LaFleur is not there, then it's this seismic change, and everyone's worried about it. And all of a sudden, they had to go on this whole ESPN PR tour of why everyone would want Matt LaFleur if he didn't have a job. But they just wanted to hide the drama rather than expose it to everyone else in Green Bay, it really feels like.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that would have been a world or an organization shift to get rid of LaFleur and go a different direction.
Yes.
But a steno, a special teams coordinator, offensive line coach, a defensive coordinator, all these things might change. Those are big voices in very important rooms, right? So, like, if you have a new O-line coach that gives a different perspective and is willing to say, hey, I have to do this, and I need to know what our offense is trying to accomplish, but I have to lead these guys to greatness. And so, you have to have the right people in there. And LaFleur, if Ed Policy is still kind of running that ship, he needs to be in those spaces and say, this guy's a yes man. He can't be a coach here. We need a guy that is going to step in and say, no, this is not how I'm going to do it, because we will not be successful. My guys are going to grind and have grit, and they will tough everything out until they can't walk off that field. And that is the mindset. I mean, I saw that tweets from all my former teammates, and I think TJ Lang sent one out, and he's just like, unless that dude's leg is broken, get up and walk off the field. But it has to be an offensive and defensive line mentality. Those guys set the tone for the toughness of your football team. And that, I think, was a big, another glaring issue. Offensive line play was not tough this year. Right. They were not just the anchor and the backbone of this team. And that really sets the tone for the rest of this operation.
How come a guy like Kyle Shanahan, who is compared to Matt LaFleur all the time, maybe unfairly or fairly, however you go around, that he can have guys up and leave and go on, and then he finds a guy immediately in his coaching tree and just keeps adding to it, while Matt LaFleur continues not to. And the entire time now, it is we need to surround Matt LaFleur with these coaches that will execute for him. When Kyle Shanahan gets dealt the cards of, and hires his own guys,
Sean McVay,
and is able to just continue and keep going.
McVay does it at a high level.
Well, Kyle Shanahan had Bob Saleh, right? And then Bob Saleh leaves, and then he gets DeMeco Ryans, and then DeMeco Ryans comes right in. He just continues.
And then he gets Saleh back.
Right. Yeah. He had Mike
That's
McDaniel.
Called relationship.
Like
you gotta wonder what is that relationship tree that that LaFleur has created outside this this bubble of Green Bay as well.
Again, I just think that if we are consistently trying to find the right people to surround him with, I think that's a shot at Matt LaFleur as opposed to Kyle Shanahan, who figures this out and is able to find his guys whenever his guys up and leave.
Is Matt LaFleur scared? Like, is he scared of having smarter people than him in the room, where these other guys are smart enough to know that you don't want to always be the smartest guy in the room? But is Matt LaFleur scared?
I just think it's a control thing. Yeah, I think it's if again I see like Seattle, I see some of these teams like how they operate on offense. They don't run it's not like they're running a lot of different plays but they let their guys go and like use their athleticism and be football players. I feel like sometimes trust and control are a big issue up there under Coach LaFleur, is that he's like, all right, I drew this play up, run the play, and then just get what you can, and then we'll go to the next play that I have prepared. Instead of it's like get the ball to your athletes and let them just go like you did with Matthew Golden. Like why hadn't we seen that until the playoff game? Like get him on the edge and let him go make plays. Like that is a strength of his. Like that was awesome to see one of our young players, an athlete, just go out and ball out and be a football player. I don't think the offense is structured that way very often. It's like, stay within the system, do your job, and I'll create something that if we do it well, we can be successful. And again, that goes back to the CYA. Coaches that do that traditionally are I like this was good. This guy didn't do his job. This guy didn't do this, whatever. I've had special teams coaches like that where it was just like, they would make things so kind of convoluted and complicated that it was like, well, like that this player didn't do his job. Like I coached him this way, like this just on the player. So there's some of that can go on up there as well.
Well, and it just sounds like I remember this, like a quote from college being like, to assume power, you must relinquish control. Right. Yep. And that like lives rent free in my mind about Matt LaFleur. It's just, it's so ego driven. It feels like up there from the outside looking in, and we don't really know anyone who has any sort of assumption of power on this team other than Jeff Hafley. He's the only guy who got any on this team, and then he's leaving now. So now it's all back to Matt LaFleur, and he refuses to relinquish a whole lot, it seems like.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, micromanaging can be like so detrimental, right? Yeah. Where if you should take responsibility as a head guy but you need to free up your coaches and your players and all of that to like be their own people and like make their own decisions and do it within your system. But if you're kind of worried maybe that your system is a house of cards, then it's like, oh gosh, I got to hold this thing together at all times, right? Yep. And it's like it just feels like almost you're holding on so tight that there's no freedom for these guys and for these coaches to just flourish in this building, right? It's kind of one of those things. How often, unfortunately, have we seen some guys leave that building and go on and have success? Like there's good players out there. You can't keep everybody. Right. But there are good players that, we're just like, they can't do anything under this system, under this umbrella. But whenever they were kind of released from that, they go on and have great careers. I mean, it's happened. Honestly, it's happened more in that offensive line room than in some other spaces as well.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. 414-677-1250. Also catch us on YouTube and on Twitter at WI Sports Radio. Still a bunch of people chiming in on the YouTube channel. Lots of good comments. We do want to talk about all the action that happened this past weekend. Our Bucks are up 27-21 right now. So again, if they win this game, they'll be a game ahead of the Hawks. And in the loss column, half a game behind them overall. Can't wait for that. I mean, NBA action, it's fantastic,
That's
Mason.
right. Midday.
Like,
Let's go.
Midday, MLK Day. Still looking at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, national championship game. We got to get to that in the 1 o'clock hour as well. He's Tommy Ortiz, Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. You are listening to the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. The Bucks are up 36-21. They have hit 49 threes in a row. The Bucks have hit 6 threes. Atlanta is 0 for 16.
What?
Mason, do you know what I could do?
You could make one?
No, I could go 0 for 16.
Yeah, you could.
I
I was
could
about
match.
to say, you're not.
I could match. Although I did hit a couple threes yesterday morning.
There you go.
Sunday morning hoops. Now that's the high school line. That's not the pro line.
I think you can make one.
I think I can make one.
In an NBA game?
In
No
an
shot.
NBA game, no way.
No shot.
But like warming up on an NBA court.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's making a shot in an NBA game.
All right, we don't have a lot of time here. I
know.
want to hit something
And
real quick.
we got a couple calls. So
Oh, do we need to? Do you want to talk to him?
if you got something quick,
No, let's talk to him. Let's talk
All right.
about playoffs, and we'll jump into that.
we got the whole 1 o'clock hour as
yeah,
well.
we got a lot
remember.
of time.
Yep. Let's go to Ken in the Falls. Ken, you're on the Mason Crosby Show.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's
I
up?
find this whole Matt LaFleur Goody thing quite intriguing.
Mhm.
They knew last year they this contract extension multi-year, which we don't know what the terms are yet of it, and we may not know for quite a while.
Mhm.
But you had a whole year to work this out, right?
Mhm.
A whole season, and then it took an extra week to get to this point. Don't you think, if you're just using a little common sense, that possibly policy, the guys that he wanted and went out after potentially to take over in Green Bay as the GM and as the head coach, were not available, that they're comfortable where they're at. He thought maybe he could sway them away, and they figured they would try and just didn't happen for whatever reason. So now they're saying, well, we'll just stick with what we got, and we'll put a bunch of different clauses in this contract in the event that those guys become available. And I want to dump Goody and LaFleur. I think there are, Mason, you raised a good point too about not being able to trust the people that work for you, right? That you always have to be the guy involved in everything per se. Good leaders always let the people that they pick underneath them do their job. So you're right.
We talked about that. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. You just don't.
That's right.
Why? Because people want more.
Right.
Let the people that you hire do their job.
Yep, that's right. Ken, thanks for the call. Mason, what do you think about that thought?
Those position coaches are the ones that are in those guys' space way more than Coach LaFleur. I mean, it's like Coach LaFleur gets in front of the team, does practice, but I mean, those players are with their position coach nonstop.
But what do you?
So
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, so you want me to ask about not finding?
Yeah,
I look at it as I do kind of think if you were going to do this, I would have done it before the season. If it's about giving Matt LaFleur and Goody confidence that they won't get fired and all of that, why didn't they extend them before this season then? They should have done that. As soon as they made the Micah Parsons trade, I would have said, all right, everyone's extended. We're extending Goody. We're extending Matt. Give them that confidence that they have a runway to build this thing and take this thing to where it needs to go. It just felt, it feels a little weird. It's they just don't feel like there's other options? Is that why this has to be extended out?
It's weird.
I just don't understand Mark Murphy stepping down, Ed Policy taking over, and there not being a plan right at that moment. And his comments that he made, it's like you had that opportunity. You should have done it in August if you were going to do it all anyways at the end of the season.
Right. If you were going to do it no matter what, which it seems like they did.
That's what they're saying now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's why didn't you do it in August then?
Right. And now, it just more fuel to the fire of things didn't go the way we wanted them to go the way this year, but it doesn't matter. So then why'd it matter? Why'd any of it matter? Tons of more of this to get to. John, I know you're in Stevens Point. Hold on for us through the break. We will get to you first out of the gates. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. I went 3-1 this weekend.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
What up, what up? This is hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. Happy MLK Day. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz in the house. Mason Crosby, the man in black, is here. You geared up for anything? You going night vision something? Or what do you got going on?
Just I don't know. It's just was top of the pile.
Am I allowed to wear this today or no? Like, I don't know. Like, what the rules are.
They're a great team. Yeah,
and there's a chance. So Tommy was going through like the list of their entire season. If you just go through the playoffs, the New England Patriots, if they win on Sunday, if they get to the Super Bowl, they may face 3 of the worst offenses in the history of the playoffs.
No, let me fill him in.
Herbert's not like the Chargers. At least were healthy, but to face like Stroud and 43 turnovers, and then to face not Bo Nix. Like, the Patriots have been given like a magic carpet ride to the Super Bowl at this point.
Well, so they went 14-3 this year, right, Mitch?
Yeah, you got hey, Tommy, I don't know if you know this or not, but you play who's on your schedule.
Yeah, all right. Here's what the
Mason
Patriots
is there. Mason, am I right? Like, you
that
play.
Is true.
I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but Mason Crosby played professional football, so he knows.
Yep. So they played the Dolphins twice this year, who went 7-10. They played the Panthers, who were 8-9. The Saints, who were 6-11. Okay. The Titans, who were 3-14, the Bills twice, 12-5, Browns 5-12, Falcons 8-9, Buccaneers 8-9, Jets 3-14 twice, the Bengals 6-11, the Giants 4-13, the Ravens 8-9, and then the quarterbacks they're going to play in the playoffs are Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, and Jarrett Stidham.
But they just slapped the Houston Texans,
who suck because of C.J. Stroud.
Well, C.J. Stroud is not good. Fault.
That is not the Patriots' fault.
Yeah. All right, let's get to John in Stevens Point. Remember the Nuclear Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. We're talking about Matt LaFleur. We're talking about Brian Gutekunst. We're talking about the NFL playoffs, sprinkling in other things like me hitting a couple threes yesterday morning. No big deal. John's in Stevens Point.
Hello. Hi, guys.
What's up?
We need to use running backs in the passing game. We got to have 2 running backs in the backfield sometimes. You got to run the sweep. You got to run the screen passes, and you got to fake the ball, fake a sweep, and then go to the other side of the field and throw slants too to the running back.
Notes?
We don't do it.
I am.
Okay, good. I was just making sure Mason was taking notes, John.
We don't do that stuff. Remember, Tom Brady had that Wisconsin running back. He threw 10, 12 passes to win the games.
Yep.
See, and it's common sense. It's the old football. It's like Vince Lombardi, it's unbelievable. You got to do it.
John, thanks for the call. Mason, is Matt LaFleur trying to get too cute sometimes? Is he doing, or, obviously John brings an old school perspective, which we appreciate.
But I mean, you look at these teams, and I do think that personnel wise, you have to get that scat back into this offense. You got to have that guy that is just electric, with his legs, can catch the ball out of the backfield. It is a true weapon. You saw it there, Seattle, what they do with Kenneth Walker and that 1-2 punch. I saw Charbonnet towards ACL, so is that what it was? Yeah. So it didn't look good, but yeah, like, I mean, the teams that have like success in kind of those grindy, like those gritty situations, have that fast running back in the backfield. They have the guy that if you get in trouble, you can check it down. Those guys are going to be tough. They're going to try to get, the extra 2 to 3 yards every time. Like you need that option. So I think that's definitely a piece that the Packers can add, to their repertoire. But Coach LaFleur has to be willing to, have that as a design in the scheme, right? And again, I just implore whoever if it's Steno, if he stays, if you get a new offensive coordinator, like to have those conversations where it's like, we need to free up our athletes to go out and like be ball players. do like something outside the system every once in a while that makes them great, right? But again, that's a control trust thing that LaFleur said it. He's like, we don't run this offense for a true number one. We don't do all, and it's like, why not?
Right.
Like I'm like, why not? Why don't we run this offense to just make our star players stars, or make like our greatest athletes the next star in the NFL? Like I would just be feeding the ball to my best playmakers and let them go out there and do their job.
Kraft, right? And the other guys are good. Like the other guys deserve the ball, but like if you have Watson and Kraft both healthy out there next year, there's no reason they both shouldn't be.
Those guys are byproducts whenever a team tries to take out your best players, where they're just like, all right, we're gonna eliminate those best guys, and that's when the other guys.
That's when Romeo takes off.
Yeah, exactly. Like that I guess like it. Again, it's simple. It's not easy, but that's a philosophy that I feel like I would hang my hat on, especially with the players you have in the building. I just feel like at times they weren't utilized to their greatest strengths, right? Or maybe they're just not those types of guys that are going to get the ball, in space and be able to find, 5 or 6 yards out of nothing. Like you just didn't see that as much out of this offense, where it was like, unless it was schemed up well and a guy got into space and open, they weren't just finding, the extra yards after Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft does, but nobody else seemed to do that.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talking text line. 920 writes in, guys, what happens if Goody gets Micah a legit tag team partner like Trey Hendrickson or something like that? And I kind of want to flip that question because I'd rather he get him a tag team partner as a cornerback. Like I think
or a defensive tackle,
right? To me, right, a defensive tackle, a big guy in the middle. But if they could get like a true number one cornerback, I think that changes the entire complexion of this defense.
Yeah, I think they need to. They're going to be seeking that out for sure. I mean, they're gonna kick the tires on stuff like that. No doubt, they're going to be looking at D tackle room. Gosh, it's like you want to say they're going to be looking at offensive linemen, which you are every year, but it's like they have literally drafted and invested in that O-line, right? So it's kind of one of those where those pieces just need to be coached up and put in the right spot to be successful. I do want to talk about this playoffs this weekend. So the Packers lost to the Bears last weekend in unforgettable fashion. We want to forget it. But watching the Bears team last night, it almost makes it more inexcusable that the Packers lost that game, right? It's just like Caleb Williams, yes, an amazing play again last night, that amazing play against the Packers, but the guy is garbage. Like he is garbage. Like that is all. You have to give Ben Johnson and that staff a lot of credit, because the fact that they beat the Packers and that they were in that game against the Rams is just because of like coaching and maybe the type of players that they have on the field to will things into existence. Because Caleb Williams through the playoffs, through 2 games this year, was under 50% completion. Through 4 interceptions. Like the guy he didn't do anything. And then he cost them in the end, right? Like, so like I've been seeing these everyone's like ice, like ice in his veins, all Iceman and all, like he's better than Jordan Love. I'm like, I would take Jordan Love every day of the week over Caleb Williams as far as what he does, protects the ball, does that. But like we talked about, Caleb Williams does have that it factor. And Ben Johnson allows his players to unleash that it factor. And I think that's a huge difference. Like Caleb Williams, what he did on the last play, or that play that he threw to Kmet, I'm like, who in their right mind would do that? But he finds a way to make it happen. They got guys, balls in guys' hands. They're getting extra yards, all that.
It's exciting.
I feel like that offense is built just to go and try to make plays, right? And so like it is definitely exciting.
Like imagine if Caleb Williams could actually go back into the pocket and throw a ball not 10 yards over a guy's
overthrow.
head.
I know, it's like
Unbelievable.
What? And then who throws that ball in that situation to DJ Moore? Even if DJ Moore, if he thought he was going to run, like why throw that ball down the field there?
DJ Moore's getting a lot of getting ripped on nationally as well, though, for not running.
Sure, but
out.
I just don't understand why. That was an ego play by Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Like everyone went downfield. Like, why did you need to get 20 yards in that situation? You were nickel and diming them. You were moving the ball. That game was going to be over. Yes. Like, I'm like, you're getting in field goal range. Cairo Santos is winning that game. So that was something I found interesting too, as we're just kind of talking playoffs.
Yeah.
It's tough to kick in Chicago, but I did see this stat that every other kick, no one else missed but Brandon McManus.
I mean, it's just so bad
in Soldier Field.
Is he cut?
So
I know they signed him to a 3-year deal. It's not a ton of money because it's a kicker, but like, is he cut? Do you cut him?
I think they're going to look at it. I would. My guess was if he wants to stick around, they're going to do potentially what I had to do after 2012 is maybe do a restructure.
Okay.
Like, you're going to have to protect yourself for, kind of for this continued, lack of success, especially in the playoffs. Like, the guy, again, last year was excellent in the regular season, missed a kick in the playoffs. Critical kicks.
Yep.
Kind of didn't do so well here. Over 40 yards, just couldn't, was it over 40 yards?
44. I think it was 44, but
44 yards.
It's makeable.
Those are kicks you got to make in this league now,
Riley
especially
Muse,
with like what the
Mevis,
expectation.
whatever his name is. He made it last
Let's
night.
talk about that. Why did the Bears not call a timeout there?
Ooh, it's a good question. I don't know.
That blew my mind. And from a kicker perspective,
don't you always call timeout there?
A rookie kicker in that moment, the Rams clearly didn't feel comfortable with him kicking that kick. They were trying to score a touchdown. Like, it was crazy what they were doing in those final moments whenever they were in field goal range. They wanted to score a touchdown. They did not want it to be in their kicker's hands to win that game.
42-yarder.
He kicks that ball. He barely makes it inside the left upright. You call a timeout. If I'm in Chicago, usually I'm like, call it before they kick it. In those conditions, in that moment, let him kick that. He sees that ball drifting left like that and all those things. There's a 75% chance that he misses that next kick right. I mean, it happened against McManus on the 55-yarder, right? You see something. If it's like your mind, like, you try to tell yourself, all right, you made the kick. Don't worry about it. Like, just stay true to your line. You're going to hit the same ball. But you just adjust a little bit and bad things happen. So I was shocked they didn't call a timeout there, before that kick. And it ends up costing them. And, Rams come away with a victory.
Do you think that there's any, with the amount of times Ben Johnson went for it on fourth down, do you think that there's any like NFL study that happens this offseason to really figure out when it makes sense to go for the fourth down, when it doesn't, when you take a field goal, when you risk a field goal, a 50-yarder, when you risk a 40-yarder, all those sorts of things? Like, I'm sure all the research is there, but do you think other teams copy what Ben Johnson's doing? Do you think he looks back and says, maybe I did it a little too much? I know we beat the Packers, but maybe we did it a little bit too much there. Like, how do you think this whole fourth down phenomenon plays out?
Well, I think those analytics are always evolving, right? Like, we look at it and it's like, here are the analytics. It's like, you realize with analytics, like, chance of victory changes throughout the course of the game, right? Like, I hate when they put like, this is the team's percentage chance of winning this game.
Yep.
And it's like, that thing is just a yo-yo. So It's like every play can change that percentage. So like we can't hang our hat on that, right? I think fourth downs, it's probably from his philosophy is you run it you go for it every time in 4th and 5 and shorter. That way, at least statistically, you have the greatest chance of having success, right? It's just like whenever they kick the tires on, do you go for 2 instead of kicking the 33-yard extra point? There were teams that tried that, but they realized if you didn't do it every time, no matter what, you actually have you score less points than you do kicking the extra point and maybe missing one every 100 extra points type of thing, right? So I think they'll look at it, but I can't imagine, because of what he did at the Lions, what he did this year, that Ben Johnson will change his philosophy on that, especially with the success and the impact that it can have whenever they get those things, right? So, and again, they got a 4th and 1 on that drive that Caleb threw the interception on.
Yep.
And they had a chance. If they don't throw that pick, they're going to go down there and probably win that game. So I don't see him changing all that much on that.
414-677-1250. 262 says, Are you out of your mind, Crosby? And I really like you. McManus needs to go. Come on. I don't think, but I would say back to Tuesday too, like it's not that easy, is it?
Well, they have time, right? So it's a June 1st designation. I saw if they don't want to take as much of a hit on his dead cap and all of those things. So they have time. And my guess, like I said, is how the Packers operate is if they think maybe he can rebound, he had some injury things and all of that, and they don't want to eat that, that dead cap at the moment, they try to restructure his contract. Just to, if like they did, I said this before in 2012 going into 2013, I took a minimum salary contract, and then put everything to earn back in incentives. If I didn't perform, they could release me without, taking a big chunk and, a hit to their cap and to their season. So I was willing to bet on myself. And so that's going to be a conversation that I would assume would happen just because of what this year was. And this is probably their best out if they want it out, if they can't get a deal like that done.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. So we've talked a bunch now about the Bears and Rams game. Let's talk about the other NFC matchup. The 49ers and the Seahawks. Jeez. Obviously, the Seahawks returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. It got to 17-6, and it felt like Fred Warner came down from he was in the booth. He came down to the sideline. He was trying to fire his guys up. It seemed like the Niners had some momentum, but the Seahawks just piled it on. I know the Seahawks are good. Sometimes games just get out of control like this one.
Yeah, that one started obviously from the opening kickoff. And I'm watching that game. I was like, I didn't see the Seahawks doing anything like exceptional, right? They just plodded along, tried not to make as many mistakes. That Seattle defensive front, though, I hadn't watched them much this year. They are ridiculous. Like their D linemen and how they play on that defensive front is special. My question to y'all is, do you think, Packers beat the Bears last week.
Right.
Do you think they had any chance against Seattle?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
it might not be 41-6. They might not give up the opening kickoff for a touchdown. It might be a closer game, but I think if the 49ers don't give up the opening kickoff for a touchdown, it's probably a closer game. But I didn't think the Niners were going to win, and I don't think the Packers could have won again.
Yeah.
Seattle but you've talked about that, Mason. You've told us playing in Seattle, it's a different animal. And yes, it's not like the Packers have never won there. The Hail Mary happened. The game
it's been a long time.
The game that we don't want to talk about anymore should have gone the other way. But weird things happen. It's tough to play. I mean, we all saw when Marshawn Lynch ran in the middle of an earthquake.
Yeah.
And weird things happen in Seattle, and that's a tough place to play. And that's listen, I know the Rams are used to it because they play there every year, but that's not going to be easy for them to go into.
Gosh, as Vikings haters, do we want Sam Darnold to win the Super Bowl?
I think we kind of do.
Yep. Are we rooting for that?
At least make it.
At least get there, right?
Yeah.
It is interesting as well that Caleb Williams was in the quarterback class of 2024, and now 3 of those quarterbacks have made a championship game as well. Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, if you count him for
Interesting.
Denver.
Yeah.
It's a pretty stacked class working out so far.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. You have to root for Sam Darnold. This is, and it's so weird because you know how much Seattle has traumatized Green Bay too during this last 15 years and some even, but you have to root for Sam Darnold because that is the ultimate troll move, because then the Vikings move on from a guy who wins the Super Bowl the year after.
Yeah, no, it's true. I definitely like the Rams better. Like I like McVay as a coach. He seems to he makes the hard choices. He does the things that he needs to do. He's very consistent.
Although there is the Devontae angle.
He's a
with
baller.
The Rams,
right.
Devontae,
There's obviously the
I'm going to be
Devontae
rooting for the Rams, but I won't be like that side of it where it's like the storyline of Sam Darnold taking the team that he went to from the Vikings to the Super Bowl would be a good one for everybody to troll the Vikings.
I was almost rooting for the Bears in this game but then they fulfilled that prophecy already of they had to get to hope you had to give them hope and then have it rip it from them like that. If they were going into this game where like everything was extra, everything was gravy, they just beat the Packers, they're way ahead of schedule, and I needed to see more hope transition into they wanted more than just to beat the Packers and advance in a playoff win, and they had it, especially when Caleb, throws the touchdown pass. That was primo, perfect. Yep, rip, go ahead. And it is the what was it? It's rip victory from the jaws of defeat, right? Or rip defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, there it is.
Right. Like that was, you needed that to happen because it happened to Green Bay so many times over the years, and you couldn't have the Bears move on.
There was a little piece of you that you hoped they'd win that game and then lose in devastating fashion.
Right, in the championship game.
Championship.
Yes. But again, they lost in such devastating fashion in the divisional round that it worked itself out perfectly fine. Yeah, it was it was sufficient.
We will look at the AFC games from this past weekend, look ahead to the national championship game tonight. The Bucs up 16 against Atlanta at the half. Shooting well, and Atlanta can't drop one in the bucket. Not like me yesterday morning, who had a couple threes. Did I mention that?
I don't know. You haven't yet.
We actually have a funny question on the Nicolay Law Talking text line that we'll get to, I think, during Mason's Extra Points. A hypothetical, could you do this athletic feat? That is it, that's kind of a, you could do yourself at the neighborhood gym if you wanted to. At least two of the three of us could. I'm not going to let anybody know which two of the three of us that is. It's probably you two. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. Well, it was the final countdown for Sean McDermott this weekend, and the countdown hit 0. Scale 1 to 10. How surprised were you about that news this morning, Mason Crosby?
I was a little surprised. I think he's clearly a good coach. Has gotten them to the playoffs and won that division successfully. I mean, without the Patriots coming in, it was like they were dominant, and just some bad luck in the playoffs and some unfortunate things. I mean, I rewatched that game, or the end of that game where they lost to the Chiefs, where they scored the touchdowns,
when they
how
scored,
the Chiefs were able to get in the field goal range. And I mean, like those types of things is that on a coach? Like that was maybe the Chiefs just will to win in that one, right? But I don't know. They obviously felt like it was a change, and whoever gets McDermott as a DC, or if he goes to another team as a head coach, like I think he is a fine coach, and guys really seem to play hard for him and like playing for him.
Yeah, Crosby, you'll never give us the full script, but it is the 15th straight year it's been Chiefs or Patriots in the AFC Championship game too.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 15 straight years.
The Patriots tie an AFC record with their 16th appearance. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. I'm Mitch Nels. Tommy Wirtz here with Mason Crosby. 414-677-1250. How you can get in touch with us. You can shoot us a text, or you can find us on YouTube or Twitter at WI Sports Radio as part of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. 16th time the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
That's wild.
4-13 the past 2 seasons, 1 under Belichick, 1 under Gerard Mayo. This year, 14-3 under Mike Vrabel. And I know Tommy told us how Cupcake City their schedule was, but but you still got to win those games. And with a second-year quarterback, with a brand new head coach, like a lot of those games against 8 and 9 teams, like there's no reason the Patriots shouldn't be 8 and 9 this year.
Brand new head coach, understood, but was unjustly fired, and plenty of much familiarity with the organization already. Like
all true. Good.
He's
points.
also now the longest tenured coach in the AFC East.
Wow.
That's funny.
I love it.
Do you think that, like, if the Patriots had not been the 2 seed or what, in like, do you think a different path, they wouldn't have had, been where they are? They still would have gotten the AFC Championship. They are one of the top 2 teams in this AFC. Like now, probably the best team because of Denver's quarterback situation. Yeah.
How crazy is that? By the way,
front runners.
How crazy is that, man? I don't want to skip away from the Patriots, but how crazy is it that Sean Payton has his post-game press conference? They win the game, roses, gumdrops, unicorns, all those good things, and then he comes back out 10 minutes later. He's like, "Hey guys, new press conference. Bo Nix broke his ankle. He's out for the year." And he broke his ankle on the kneel down at the end of the game.
Is that what happened?
I think that's what they said. Like as they were centering the ball, and if you watch his leg, it does twist awkwardly under him. How great! Like I don't know. I've never seen. You've never seen anything like that, have you?
I've never seen that. No, a broken ankle on the kneel down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
It's like Grammatica. I mean, but for
exactly.
That's all
exactly.
it is.
Oh, that's so brutal. I hate that. You don't want that. You want to see
not.
the best players in the biggest games go at it and just see who comes out on top. That definitely put the Patriots in that favorite spot to win the AFC. I still think whoever comes out of the NFC will probably win this Super Bowl. That's still my thought process. Even though Patriots defense, I didn't realize their defense was a top 8. They're really good on defense. And they showed that against the Texans, even though CJ Stroud decided to play, the second worst game, I guess, of his career. I mean, the last week was against the Steelers was just as bad. They just found a way to beat the Steelers. But the Patriots are all around really solid. Broncos amazing on defense, but they're not going to be able to handle everything that the Patriots
I don't know how you can say that you're like anyone from the NFC, no matter what, when Sam Darnold is like, there's a chance he's one of the quarterbacks. Like I won't believe he's going to win a Super Bowl until he actually does it. Like I think
all around good team is Seattle. I mean, Seattle has to be the all around best team left in this thing. It's Seattle and Patriots. Maybe a toss up there at this point for all around best team, but I wouldn't write the Broncos off just because, again, Sean Payton, a great mastermind coach, seems to get his guys doing exactly what he expects and wants them to do. And then you have Matthew Stafford out there. So this NFC AFC championship weekend is going to be an exciting one because I just think the the matchups are really interesting. And then from an NFL perspective, from a Super Bowl perspective, which two teams do you think the NFL hopes or has written into this Super Bowl? Because that's always a big thing, right? It's like, who's gonna sell the most tickets?
Well, it's got to be New England because of the Bo Nix injury,
and LA.
And it's got to be LA, right?
But I'm just saying, even from like advertising sales, all that,
Boston and LA.
Boston will sell a lot of beer.
Boston and LA.
Yeah,
I mean, LA's over everybody, right?
You would think, yeah.
Especially with traveling to Santa Cruz. I don't know if does that affect it at all. Like that, it's in California. I mean, Seattle's easy to get to Santa Cruz too. Like that's
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, West Coast, it's kind of wild. Thinking that. The two NFC. I mean, they were the best division this year in the NFC. So to have two teams representing the NFC in the championship is from the West is pretty impressive.
Jeff writes in on YouTube. He thinks that he actually may have gotten hurt on the play before the kneel down where he took the sack. That could be. That's
what I saw.
But it was either one of those two plays. I mean,
crazy.
Well, and I like that you brought up that point, Mason, about the NFC West, because there could be a conversation that needs to be had about the NFC North and the phantom powerhouse that division might have been over the last 2 years now, for sure, because they went 0-3 in the playoffs last year, and then the only win they've had in the playoffs over the last 2 years now is against each other at this point too. When the division was crazy last year, everyone was all in on Bears or Packers, whoever it was next. Like the division just maybe isn't that good compared to the NFC West.
I'm gonna combat that, and I'm gonna say I think San Fran has to rebuild now. Like they have some older guys on
contracts. Or do they just have to move their practice facility so it's not next to like an electrical field?
I've been wanting to bring that up, and I've been waiting for you to bring it up because I knew that would be something
as a believer of like the Marvel universe and Stranger Things, like this is straight out of both of those. This is definitely affecting their muscles.
I mean, scientifically, it proves it. They've done readings on their facility, and it's like those levels are too high for somebody to be in that space on a consistent basis.
Thank you.
It breaks down muscle tissue. It breaks down your tendon fibers and structure. But Andrew Brandt, our good buddy of the station, actually now someone poached him off of our.
He's our buddy. He may be a guest with other people. He's our family.
He's always started here at the Mason Crosby Show. But he mentioned, he was like, hey, I don't know if this 17-game schedule is working out for the NFL the way they
Let's
hoped
go 18,
it would.
baby.
With the amount of Achilles, like these severe ACL Achilles injuries from their top players in this league, right? It's like, gosh, like the strain on these guys' body is just unreal. So it's like if you ever wonder why they get paid so much, it's because everybody loves it and it's dramatic and all this stuff. But it's also like you are sacrificing your longevity of life and your quality of life for down the road with all these significant injuries.
Well, what if they just got rid of the preseason at that point? Like, just get rid of the preseason. Get rid of the preseason, and you'd prevent more injuries too. Like, you'd have 3 less games.
Yeah,
or are people going to be just less prepared for the regular season and get hurt?
But see, the local revenue for preseason games, like say in Green Bay, like they don't have to share that as significantly, and they're still selling tickets, and like their season ticket holders have to buy the preseason package, do all this stuff. So that's a big bump in like the ownership pocket, keeping those preseason games alive. So it's a joke. Y'all want to talk about this national championship and some of our pick review? Because I don't know how that went, but lead us into that, Tommy.
If Buffalo had just taken care of business, I'd be 4-0. No big deal.
Yeah, picks were decent this week. As Mitch Nellis, like he said, 3-1 was on the Buffalo train. However, me and Crosby, we were fading Mitch pretty much all week, and we
didn't work out for you.
We went 2-2 because of it. So I think we had higher expectations for San Francisco in the game. That was where we were we were flawed. Looking at the betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the national championship game today, when we brought it up earlier in the day, it was at 7.5.
All right.
It has moved to 8.
All right, hold on real quick. So they're showing like they're already doing pregame for the national championship game on ESPN. And so they're showing like a Calvin Harris concert in the UK right now as part of the pregame. Like that, what does this have anything to do with Miami Indiana
just
pregame,
reaching as far as they can.
Like this is so.
Well, they weren't trying to go so
ESPN's
close
so
to you. That was a Calvin Harris reference.
Well, it feels so close. Is what he's playing right now.
Exactly.
It's literally what he's playing right now.
Yeah, that's the only song he has.
Right.
So
ESPN, you're stupid, and I'm willing to say it.
Indiana, Miami
Hot
today.
take. Ooh.
No 4 stars or higher over on Indiana, yet they are 8-point favorites. However, I heard 73% of the money is on Indiana to cover today.
Although I think a lot of the money today has come in. I bet it was even up to 80%. Because again, in Vegas, it sounds like a lot of money coming in on Miami today.
8 points, huh?
Indiana is 8-0 when a favorite this year, and the average margin of victory is 27 points.
How many of those games were against the Miami Hurricanes?
I don't care. I'm telling you, this Indiana,
okay.
we're going to start having conversations about this Indiana team of like, this is one of the best seasons of all time after tonight.
I agree with that.
After tonight.
I agree with that, Tommy Wirtz.
Yeah.
God, you're smart.
All right. Well,
why couldn't I have said something like that?
you sold me. I'm taking Indiana.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Fernando Mendoza, like as much of a goofball as he is, it's fun to root for him, I think, too.
I think I'm taking Indiana also. I'm glad I didn't go over unders this past weekend. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but on Friday I told you that the Patriots were going to win 3-0.
Yeah.
I loved that under, and then it goes over. Like,
yeah.
How does that game go over?
6.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get like 9 turnovers. That does it. This game's over under is only 47. I think that's pretty low for this game because I do think this could be a game, even if Indiana's up 14 or 20, that there could be a couple touchdowns late. Like,
I just don't think Miami's going to be able to score.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think Indiana.
I don't know.
Indiana D is just good.
It is.
And Miami's defense is a strength, right? And I think Indiana will still be able to find a way to put points on the board. I think it's going to be like a 35-14 type of game.
That's over. 35-14 is over the over-under.
There you go.
Yeah. And I was going to say 31-17. which is also just.
Oh, I'm not saying that it's not going to go over. I just
Right,
think it's like
you don't think
like
it's like
Miami's.
you don't love it.
It's not like the
Yeah.
Miami's going to like do something
able to
late. Like I
score,
think
yeah.
it's just going to they're not going to do anything.
Did you guys see the Carson Beck clip that went viral over the last couple of days?
No,
too?
but I
That
did.
he's been graduated for 2 years.
Is that true?
Oh my, that is ridiculous.
So dumb.
So is that the world we live in now? Like they
Oh,
don't
I mean,
have to.
We
they
don't
have
send
to
we
go
don't
to
send
school?
kids to school, so why send adults to school anymore either? Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, he said
2
that
years.
he hasn't taken a class while he's at Miami. He's taken like some BS classes. I mean, this is not new though. Like I'm sure Matt Leinart was taking intro to dance his senior year too.
Nothing
Like
wrong with that.
yeah, I'm just saying that they're not doing this, and now that they're just making it even more public information that
Hey, he
it's-
graduated.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
we got to give him props for that.
I'm gonna
Like, he
say
did
say
graduate.
he probably says we graduated when he announces it to people, because if I don't have faith that Carson Beck graduated in 3 years being the starting quarterback at the University of Georgia by
We
himself.
graduated.
Yeah,
We
like
Well, not by
no way.
himself.
Yeah, no, there's
I
no
mean,
shot.
He graduated, but not by himself.
Yeah, they just
Well,
gave him a piece of
I
paper.
told y'all whenever I was in Colorado for the Hall of Fame event, I had people telling me about now like so many of these student athletes, they can do a lot virtually as well.
Of course.
So like as soon as like the semester, as soon as like their season is over, they'll go home and they just do online courses and spend a month or two away from
Sure they are.
from the campus.
or paying somebody to.
correct.
Well, exactly. Like, but it is online. Like, it's
Right.
just like wild. If they are taking classes, a lot can be done online now. Since 2020, though, I do think that's changed. Like,
Yeah.
you have the option to not
Agreed.
go into the class and just do it online.
Well, I remember
So-
Joe Burrow had to make it a big deal Joe Burrow was having the season of his life in 2019, right? Like you can't go on campus when you are the starting quarterback at LSU
right?
when you are having that run. So he was a guy that was very open about, yeah, I do everything online because I can't go to campus. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere.
So
So
he had some of his teammates' moms doing
well,
doing
right.
his
I mean,
homework
I'm
for
sure
him.
these NIL deals probably got tutors included in them now, or whatever it is at this point, assistants.
Mason Brett wants to know on YouTube, what were you taking your final
Hey,
semester? in
yeah,
school?
Brett,
Yeah.
Well, I graduated in 3.5 years.
Whoa, look at me.
legitimately.
Look at me, big
Yeah.
brain.
So I took a heavy class load that last fall just to be done
during football
after-
season.
During football season. Yeah. I worked hard, guys.
Can you tell? Can you
It's
tell
not
us?
a good look for kickers.
Is there one?
right there?
Why is that not a good look?
Because that's how.
That's
means I'm
so much time for school with.
Yeah.
Okay, let's relax.
Oh,
Football, like,
man.
let's be real. Football's only like a few hours a day at the facility. Like, guys can
for
study
kickers,
and do their
for
work.
kickers.
I think that it should be that way. I think
I
you
was
should
there.
have to
I was
figure
there
it
the
out.
same amount of time as everybody else. Relax.
Yeah.
You were. Well, tell us one class you took that semester. Your last semester.
Remember?
You don't
That
remember
was
one
20
class?
something
I have
years.
no
Yeah.
idea. I couldn't
No
tell you a
idea.
class I took my
I
senior
know I
year.
took like journal.
I was just finishing up.
There was a journalism class I took where we
I think
had
I
to write
took like
articles on stuff.
my last like psychology and sociology classes.
Okay,
and,
all
like,
right,
yeah.
that's real.
So
Do you ever do any experiments on people?
all
like-
the time. I mean, I do all. I still
Every
do.
day. On this show.
Every day.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good
Exactly.
point.
I'm always
Stu-
testing everybody.
That's a stupid question. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show. We're going to go inside Mason's brain, hear about how basketball went on Saturday. We need an update.
Heartbreaker.
Oh, no. This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for joining the Mason Crosby Show. It was a good Monday. We're just kind of figuring things out as extensions are being had. We're waiting for this national championship game. Something that's on my mind is deciding how I feel about it. And I think I know, but I'm curious how y'all feel that this Bears-Packers rivalry is officially back. Do you feel good about that, or did you enjoy it more where it was just kind of like, the Packers are going to dominate the Bears. Yeah. This is not really a thing anymore. You like that better?
Way more.
I like it better whenever it's a real deal.
I felt that way about Minnesota. Like I've always said on this show, like I'm a way bigger Viking hater than I was a Bears hater because I would rather see the Vikings, who were competitive against the Packers. Like I wanted to get over that hump every year. I don't want two humps. I'm done with that. I wanted it. I wanted it to be as easy as the Packers in the locker room think it is with Matt LaFleur as the coach.
That's
how
humps?
I want to feel.
Are there three humps right now?
Yeah, I mean,
like this whole division.
It's a mountain range at this point. It's not even humps anymore.
I think it just and it goes to that aspect of, can this team be tough enough and kind of grind enough in a division like this, right? Because this division is going to be real now. I think for the next 3 years or so, this is going to be one of the best divisions in football moving forward. So you better buckle up and get your mind right and not be like, hey, we're the Green Bay Packers. Like we're gonna roll in there and we're gonna find a way to win. No, you gotta get back to those basics of, this is how we do it. We got to grind every day. We got to work hard. This is earned, not given, and let's go out there and get this thing done.
Yeah, the only thing there we don't know about, of course, is Minnesota quarterback. But
still, they had a trash quarterback, and they still had a 9-8 record. I mean,
are you guys
like
ready?
If they figure that thing out, they're going to be dangerous.
Don't say Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings.
Are you guys ready?
Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings.
Are you guys ready? I mean, just if it
happens.
Are
you guys ready?
If it happens, are you ready for it?
I said, are you ready?
It's gonna happen. All it said was that he was not returning to the Steelers.
He did not.
All
Meanwhile,
it said.
the Steelers announced over the weekend that they are open to bringing Aaron Rodgers back. I don't know why they announced that, but they said that on yesterday.
He's going to the Vikings.
So it's
going to the Vikings.
He might super troll and go back to 12.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Why wouldn't he go back to 12? That's his number. It wasn't available with the Jets. It wasn't available with Pittsburgh.
No, remember Joe Namath said he was going to unretire it.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, you don't want to take that. Not at the Jets. Like I think Aaron's happy that little numbers behind him. But
Mason, what happened Saturday?
Oh gosh, we were so close, guys. Came out. We had a lead, 8-6. We were playing great defense. Finding. We worked bounce passes last week. Like,
love bounce passes.
Just 20-25 minutes of literally working on shielding with the ball, and then kind of like the step and reach, pass, pivot foot, all the stuff. And these girls, it clicked, and they are bounce passing, finding openings. Couldn't make the shots every time. Christine balled. She was amazing. Rebounding machine, had like 5 blocks, was stealing the ball, breakaways, doing her thing. She just was not great at that final moment. She'd take it. She's alone down the court, and she'd just throw it up, and it was hard off the backboard.
Need some
so
touch.
We're up 8-6. They go on a 6-0 run, take it to 12-6. We get it down 12-8. We get it to 10, and we get the ball. Christine steals it, takes it down, and she finds a pass to one of our girls under the hoop, and she throws it and just hits it off the side of the backboard. There's a scrum. Ball goes out. Mind you, I call timeout. We get the ball back for an inbound with 10 seconds left. I bring them over, give them the rundown. We're going to do this, do that. They go on the court and just stand there. Turn the inbound over and don't even get a chance to try to tie it. I was so bummed for it, but it was so much fun. And like just seeing that progress, I love coaching just because of that. I love seeing those moments where it clicks.
What a great learning experience. We are all taking Indiana tonight in the national championship game. The Bucks lead is down to 8 after 3 quarters. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
I was so